people felt that they got their money's worth at Sears. And they had been in business a long, long time. And the assumption that many people have is that once retailers are entrenched like that, they're going to stay that way forever. And as we soon discover, that may or may not hold up. I think they thought that business would go on as usual. They had discovered a way to sell the people on what they did, and they did it very effectively for many years. The couple of things that Sears did that were important. First of all, they started out as a mail order business way back when. And they knew how to reach people through mail order. They did flashy ads that people wanted, and they bought the products. They even at one time in the early part of the 20th century, for a short time, sold an automobile they manufactured. Anyway, it was kind of interesting, and that's how they worked. And then they went into the retailing end of it, a lot of it due to Richard Sears, who in the 1890s, who began in the Chicago area. And when they went into retailing, they were not against the idea of innovation in the slightest. In fact, they were innovative. Early part of the 20th century, they sold their own housing kits. You could build a house from a Sears kit. Every day, all day you heard ads for Sears. This week at Sears, we have this. This week at Sears, we have this. They did it throughout the country. In my native area of Boston, the same thing. Sears everywhere. Then suddenly, in the mid to late 1970s, you stopped hearing about Sears. What happened? They stopped advertising. Well, like anything, you figure maybe their profits are high enough, they don't have to worry about it anymore, that kind of thing. It was also about that time that Sears decided to get on what they called the softer side of Sears. They began to try to sell products that were software. And they were very good at marketing hardware, not so great in marketing software. I think the problem that Sears has, and I think a problem it's always had in recent times, is identity. It hasn't found its own retail niche, whereas places such as Kohl's, places such as Target, Walmart, the Federated stores have as much. And so people don't really think of Sears for any specific products any longer. And they made one I think, very bad error in the process. And that is, in trying to save their corporation, they sold off a lot of their assets. They sold off craftsman tools. The consumer is interested in either getting things instantly by way of Amazon-type buying, or they want to go into stores that they can go into quickly, grab something, and go along their way. They don't want to go through the hassles of going through big box stores where they may have to go through department after department to find what they're looking for, and then find that they have to stand in long lines to pay for them. The other thing that I think Sears lost sight of was that when they found that certain items weren't selling, they still continued to sell them, especially in the software department. They should have turned away from that and emphasized what they did best, which was selling washers, dryers, television sets, that kind of thing, and tools, and they should have stayed with that. They should have emphasized their automotive department more, their auto service departments, which in many cases were excellent places to go to.